Hello and welcome to Nine Kings, and I'm actually going to show you how to get the speedrun achievement, because there's only 2.2% of people that have gotten this achievement so far, and I thought, hey, you know what? Might as well just show you. So if you want to check out the game, there is a link in the description, and I did it just now, which is actually quite funny. Anyway, as I previously theorized in the prior video, we need to play as the King of Blood. The King of Blood is very, very powerful on this. I got this on Peasant difficulty because, let's face it, why would you want to make it harder than it actually is? And we're otherwise just going to be playing with these perks. Obviously, if you have the King of Blood higher level, then it's probably a good idea to play with an additional point in the Summoner perk, because that's going to give you 10% additional summons. Now, what I'm actually doing is I'm utilizing Ingenious, because this basically allows us to level up our castle 3 more times per rank, which gives us 6 more levels. This is going to be very, very important, because basically leveling up your pagoda is the key to the speedrun. So we're just going to go. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see if we can actually do this again. I did it in 8 minutes and 19, and I'm basically just going to randomly place whatever anywhere else. And we're pretty much going to be slowing down the game in general most of the time. Whenever we get to a point like this, I'm just going to slow down the game a little bit here, and I'm just going to randomly place units. I'm not actually going to be, dramatically changing anything around. I'm not going to be prioritizing or trying to make things any bit different. All I'm going to be doing is trying to get as many pagodas as I can onto the field. As in, I want to try to upgrade my pagoda as much as I possibly can. Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit unlucky here, so I'm just going to be upgrading the Mangler instead, and we're not getting the pagoda right now. But that is generally going to be the thing that we need to do to be able to maximize things. There we go. Summons 50% stronger. Summons being 50% stronger is inherently crazy good. It is really, really good to go for that particular royal decree. There's another pagoda right there, so we're just going to be upgrading that. We're going to be continuing to speed up the game whenever we can. I don't know whether you're noticing in the top right, but basically I'm slowing down the game every single time we get to a point like this, and I'm basically just making sure that we are having as less of a time spent as possible in these kinds of events, these kinds of, selections and things like that. Hilariously enough, it is not really required to do that, because in my first run where I actually did get the achievement, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to make any kind of, weird slow down, special effort to get it. It was literally, it's literally just as a way for me to go, hey, you know what? If you're having issues, maybe you just want to do that just to make sure that nothing bad happens. We're going to wage war against the King of Nothing here. King of Nothing does provide us with the blacksmith, which I personally believe is very good. I think the blacksmith is a fantastic building, and generally I would highly recommend trying to go for that if you can. And we're getting pretty unlucky here with the pagodas. Not sure what's going on with that, but we're getting pretty unlucky with the pagodas right now. I need to level it up so much more. It's only level 4 right now, and we can technically get it to level 9. So there we go. There's another pagoda. That's fantastic. Just gonna leave the merchant. I'm not even gonna bother with the merchant right now. We don't have enough money to basically buy anything anyway, because all I'm doing is just re-rolling. That's it. I'm just re-rolling all the time. We're going to go for wild card here so that we can continue to level up our pagoda. And we're going to be getting the plot right behind the pagoda here, because you never know when you're going to get a building like another blacksmith or something like a quarry maybe that is going to be somewhat useful. And we're basically just going to continue leveling up the pagoda. That's it. Just continue leveling up the pagoda. Everything else is not really necessary. It's pretty good if you want to do that, but oh, this is kind of bad actually. Oh, yeah, attack speed of towers. That's not really going to help me that much. That's not really going to help me that much. So that's a bit of a problem. If you can get the royal decree that allows you to increase your summons damage, that is going to be the fundamental thing that you want to be looking out for. That is always what you're going to be wanting to look out for. Everything else can take a back seat. Because that is very, very good and very, very powerful. So we're just going to, once again, clone this. Do I need to clone it? Yes, we need to clone it one more time. There we go. That is it maxed out. And now we could pretty much, I think at least, we could pretty much relax, but it's still not a given that we're going to be okay here. So what I need to do is I need to try to get a blacksmith. There's the blacksmith. So now we can actually do that. And now we can start getting damage increases for both our Mangler Tower, which, let's face it, the Mangler Tower is not doing anything. It's doing very little damage, as you can see right there. It's very, very bad. So it's not actually necessary for us to really be doing anything with that. But, you know, maybe it's actually going to be somewhat useful to a degree. I highly doubt it, but, you know, maybe it will be somewhat good. As you can see, it does do some damage, but most of the damage is indeed the pagoda. We're going to be going for the blacksmith once again. And funnily enough, the Mangler is gaining damage every single time it kills, you know, your own troops and stuff like that. So it is actually kind of decent. Doubles the HP. No, there we go. We're going to be going for summons being 50% fast. Well, 50% faster, stronger, whatever. They are just going to be better, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage, which is exactly what we want. So what I get, once again, I'm just going to be getting another blacksmith here just to make sure that our pagoda is doing as much damage as it possibly can, and as you can see here, it is just absolutely destroying everything. We could go for another Mangler here. I'm not sure if we even have it already with maybe we already have it with you know, at level 3. Yeah, we already have it at level 3, so this is basically pointless. So I'm just going to sell this, and we might be taking a bit too long. That's the funny thing. I might be taking a bit too long here, so that's not particularly good. But you can see here that my imps are just absolutely destroying everything, so we don't really need to worry about that. Even the Blood Rebellion absolutely just gets slaughtered. Blood Rebellion is actually the hardest. Well, basically any rebellion is the hardest for any particular king, in my opinion. I've always found that in the game. The rebellions are usually the most difficult to deal with. But it's okay. We don't really need to worry about that. I'm going to, once again, just get a converter here. I'm basically just trying to reduce the amount of damage that is done to our own forces here. Just trying to eliminate the highest HP enemies. And that's pretty much it. Now, we're just going to get a farm here, and I don't even know really where to place this, to be honest. It's basically pointless, but I guess I could place it around about here and try to increase our population of units so that the Mangler can continue to get damage increases. And another blacksmith along the side there is obviously going to be extremely, extremely useful. Again, Blood Rebellion, pretty difficult to deal with. If you have the King of Stone, then it's probably a little bit of a recommendation just to have a little wall. If you build a wall, that can be very, very useful. Yeah, otherwise I'm basically just filling out my tiles here with just some random buildings. I'm not really going for anything specific. Like, I'm not going for converters specifically to make them work for me. I'm literally going for them just because I have to make a decision and I don't really care what I take. That's it. I'm not really caring at all what I take at this point. All I care about is making sure that my pagoda is getting a little bit of a buff. And you can see here that everything is going to be absolutely fine. My imps are just completely destroying the King of Nothing here, and that is indeed it. And now we can have a look and see how long we took. 8 minutes 21. That is indeed enough to get us the achievement. So hopefully this has helped you out. Very, very quick and easy guide. I don't even know whether I could really call it a guide, to be honest, but yeah, just play as the King of Blood. Hopefully you've got it leveled up slightly, a little bit. Obviously, I'm not sure if it really matters too much but I'd recommend at least getting the King of Blood to level 2. Because if you get the King of Blood to level 2, you're then going to have two perk points that will enable you to get Ingenious, which allows your castle to level up 6 more times if you have 2 points in it. And it is very, very useful to do that. But hopefully this has helped you get the speedrun achievement if you've been having some issues with it. If not, then, well, congratulations already, I suppose. Anyway, that's going to be it for this. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.